So it's really nice to have your son get to this point. And I think back to 35 years ago after we heard, Dad, when I grow up, I want to be a tow truck driver. The next week it was a garbage truck driver, and then it was a farmer. And one day he looked me in the eye and said, I want to be a doctor, just like you, and I want to work with you. So here we are all these years later. He's been working with me for almost 10 years, and he's really done well. We're very proud of him. I'd like you to come up, and we'll give you the oath of the office. Okay. Lots of paper here. Okay. So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
Joseph Zawisza, DO,
do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution and bylaws of the Pennsylvania Osteopathic Medical Association,
do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution and bylaws of the Pennsylvania Osteopathic Medical Association,
to put forth effort, time, and diligence
to put forth effort, time, and diligence
to promote the tenets of the osteopathic profession,
to promote the tenets of the osteopathic profession,
and to ensure that the continuation of our profession
and to ensure the continuance of our profession
for those osteopathic physicians who will follow us,
for those osteopathic physicians who will follow us,
and keep me steadfast in the due performance of this my pledge as an elected officer of the POMA,
and keep me steadfast in the due performance of this my pledge as an elected officer of the POMA.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, he will.
Okay.
Kind of like pin the tail on the donkey. Huh?
Thank you all. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here on this special night. I'm delighted that we can begin to meet again in person, although not all could be with us tonight, but I look forward to the day that we can. I must admit, I never thought that my presidential installation would look quite like this. Most of you have known me for a long time. I first became active with POMA as a resident representative to the Board of Trustees about 15 years ago. I recall at a board meeting at Valley Forge when there were no seats for the residents, I was told I could sit in the back with past presidents. I'm sure some of you remember that setup. When attendance was being taken and a comment was made that another observer was sitting in the past presidents club, I meekly called out, "And future presidents." I'm not sure why I said it then, and I certainly did not say it with much courage. In fact, I'm pretty sure nobody actually heard it. But that was the moment I first decided that I wanted this job. Not for glory or acknowledgement, and certainly not for the long hours, the headaches, the demands, but because I knew that I wanted to be a leader in an organization whose work I believe in. Fast forward to tonight, and I stand before you with the courage to take on this job. I'm delighted and honored to be your president. So what did I learn in between 2006 and 2021? At first, what I thought I was supposed to learn was how to do the job, what to say, where to be, other presidential etiquette. That's not exactly what I learned. Sure, I hope I say the right things and that I do the job well, but through the examples of some great physicians who have gone before me, served before me, I have come to understand that this is more than just a job you do for a year. It's a vocation that requires a lot of time, being prepared for anything, lost my place, and knowing that you're not always going to have the right answers on the tip of your tongue, but having the confidence to know that years of hard work to get to this point have prepared you for whatever comes. It's amazing how much this position parallels our vocation as physicians. One of the sayings that my grandfather always used to say, and he had a lot of them, was that the future is not a gift, it is an achievement. Well, our history has been full of great achievements, and our future will continue to be. Sure, we've had some lucky breaks, but through a lot of hard work, we completed our first strategic plan, and we're already making leaps and bounds into our second one through our pillar work that we've heard about over the last few days. We've successfully completed our second virtual annual convention and the fourth program overall through this format, which is just great. Unquestionably, we've increased our footprint in Harrisburg over the last 5 years or so, and in a year when no one knew what changes we would face, we've continued all of our usual excellent work without missing a beat. By now, you've probably heard that my theme for this year is POMA on the Move, and the logo is a train, which you'll see on your tables. I like trains. I got that from my dad too. While we can take tonight and tomorrow off to celebrate our achievements, and for the staff, you've earned Monday off too, I think. This week, we get back to work. Hopefully, we're refreshed by our time in virtual conference and social gatherings so that we can keep tackling our pillar goals. But we mustn't think of this as just a bunch of check boxes that we need to complete. We've seen that each goal we achieve presents 2 or 3 more that we can work on. A year from now, we're not just going to have podcasts available for our members. We're going to be asking, how can we make them better? We're not going to rest knowing that our advocacy in the legislature has helped pass or defeat a bill that would help or harm osteopathic physicians and their patients. We're going to be looking at the next 10 bills that we have to focus our attention on. We're going to maintain our high quality educational programs and keep asking, as Lisa said, how do you make something excellent even better? And we're going to keep finding ways to increase our membership numbers and engagement and determine what our community looks like in whatever this crazy COVID ride brings. We're going to look at our own governance and make sure that we're doing the things as our bylaws say we should be, while simultaneously determining what we need to do differently than the way things have always been done. And so I need all of you to work with me over the next year and beyond to achieve these goals and keep setting new ones. Everyone here tonight, those watching virtually, everyone who reads the newsletter, participates in a committee, treats patients, or has a DO after their name or soon will, I need your help. There's still a lot of work to be done. Students, interns, residents, that includes you. I want to talk with you. You are not just the future of our profession, you are our profession. We've made great strides in including our newest osteopathic physicians and students in our organization, but there's a lot more to be done. Sorry. Even though us seasoned physicians, and it's amazing how quickly you can start to say that, were in your shoes once and had the same enthusiasm you bring to the profession, sometimes we forget about that and get settled in our ways. Keep us fresh and vibrant. Don't just give us your ideas, help us see them through to fruition. Invite me to your schools and programs so that we can exchange ideas on how we can help you and you can help us. Be a driving force in this profession. To my colleagues who can no longer call themselves young physicians, never underestimate what you still bring to this profession. Sometimes we need to be reminded that there is a good reason for the way we've always done things. Sometimes we need encouragement that you don't feel like we're just undoing all of the hard work that you dedicated so much of your time and effort to. Sometimes your seemingly insignificant words or gestures propel us to achieve great things. He's not here tonight, but another fond memory I have of POMA and being a resident was that one year I was asked to serve as a member of the caucus. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I was just there to fill a seat, but I went up anyway, and I humbly stood in the back of the caucus room. So I was quite surprised when a physician came up to me and started talking to me with the same level of respect as he did with his other physician colleagues. I spoke a few minutes ago about knowing I wanted to do this job. Well, that was Dr. Peirce, and I was able to talk to him about it this morning. He doesn't remember it, but I do. That wasn't one of the jokes. Anyway, for me, that was a pivotal moment that let me know that I was part of this profession and organization and that I could earn this job. I did not get here alone, and to those who have helped me, I hope that I have demonstrated my thanks along the way, even if I didn't express it in words enough times. I'm always anxious about doing this list because inevitably I end up forgetting someone to mention someone, and then I'm laying awake at 2 a.m. thinking about it. Please know that even if I don't mention your name, I have not forgotten that you have helped me to get here. And then tonight at 2 a.m., come knock on my door and remind me because I'll be laying awake thinking about it. Dr. Garloff, you were a driving force in our district, and I don't know that I would have had many of the opportunities I have received without that. I also don't think I would have ended up at Mansfield University, but that's a story for another time. To all the other physicians from Pottsville who helped influence me along the way, thank you. To Joan, Jankuya, George, Tony, Jeff, Bill, and all the other past presidents and leaders who have helped quietly or sometimes not so quietly. Where's Tony at? Oh, okay, yeah. Let me know that I had good ideas and gave me the confidence I talked about earlier. Thank you. To Pam, Lisa, and Jen, we've worked on a lot of projects together and we've accomplished some great things that had great impact, and I am thankful for that. Jean, I guess thanks for setting the bar so high over the last year. Really though, thank you for fluidly moving us through a tumultuous year and making us look good when no one else seemed to know what was going on. Michelle and Dominic, you have an amazing husband and father, and we're so grateful you let us borrow him for this year so much. Please know that for every sacrifice that you two made this year, the fruits of his labor were unimaginable. I hope tonight is the start of many more evenings you get to spend together as a family. To my colleagues in District 11, under the new leadership of Cindy Lubinsky and our past chair, Rob DeColi, and our new trustee, Angie, and Hans, who also is one of our trustees, thank you for the confidence you have placed in me over the years. I know that Cindy and our new trustee will serve their roles well. Thanks to my office staff who regularly do more than just the work of a medical assistant to keep our practice running and allow me to fulfill multiple roles. And a special thank you to Dad and to Meg for the increased work they're going to take on this year to help me. Thanks to the POMA office staff, past and present, for all that you do for us as osteopathic physicians every day. You make us look good and you still give us the credit for it. And tonight I again say thank you. To my siblings, Danny, Meg, Irene, and their spouses, Bethany, Dave, and Dylan, thank you for all your support throughout our lives together, whether it was helping to transport kids or letting me know that I was being too bossy, even if you were wrong and even if I wasn't going to listen anyway. Thanks for being family. To my nieces and nephews, Peter, Mila, Luke, Jacob, Hadley, Gabriel, Everly, Everett, Eli, Dominic, and Agnes, and my in-laws, Tom, Linda, Mike, Amy, Nick, and Cassidy. Thank you for your support during the time we've known each other, whether it was doing something like being funny or telling a funny joke or doing something that only a kid could do, putting on a show on the baseball field, or just understanding that vacation time is not always vacation time for me. Mom and Dad, thank you for all the things you have taught me in life. You were my first teachers of medicine and unquestionably my biggest teachers in life. Thank you for all the sacrifices you have made for us over the years, but most especially the ones that we never knew about. Thank you for teaching me about the dignity of every person and for all the opportunities you have ensured we had in our lives. Also, I hope you're not still upset that I should be turning 42 today. I think they are. In 2015, Dad, when you stood up here and accepted this responsibility, you talked about complacency. I don't think anyone had any idea of how not complacent that year would be. Thank you for setting a great example for me to follow this year. And I would like to point out, I believe we're the first father-son presidents in POMA history. To my boys, come on up here, guys. Sorry, we're working on our act. All right, Benjamin, Joshua, Nicholas, and Adam, thanks for being patient for the last few years and for what we're going to go through over the next year. I know this isn't the party that I've been promising you for the last several years, but I hope we get to see a few places in Pennsylvania together. Know that the sacrifices that you make this year will be to help many people. I hope that Mommy and I have installed in you what a tremendous value your selfless acts are. We're so proud of the wonderful young men you are becoming. And we like your shirts.
Thank you.
Guess who's next? And come on up. Thank you for the sacrifices you have made to get me here too. Sometimes living as a single parent, whether I was at a meeting or just stuck in the other room, I know I'm normally such an easy person to live with. Supposed to confirm that.
I can't lie.
So I apologize if it gets just a little tougher this year. Just kidding. As you know, my parents were always worried that I was going to marry a girl who would let me just walk all over her with my nonsense. Thank you for not being that girl. We've accomplished a lot together, and I'm excited for what the rest of our lives hold. My final thought for tonight is to tell you, as my mom mentioned, that in our faith, today is the feast of St. Joseph the Worker, my namesake. This celebrates St. Joseph as a hard worker who provided for his family. I'm going to help provide for my POMA family. To me, this is such an appropriate day for my inauguration to take place. We have a lot of work to do, so let's get to it after dinner, of course. Thank you.